Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a brand new line from Mattel to take a look at, one that I recently have promoted a few times in news videos. We've got the Bite Club. Now, these are interesting, I will definitely put it that way. They certainly don't look to be any sort of award-winning figures coming from Mattel, but it is something a little different, something a little unique in Mattel. One thing I think that is really fun about them is the fact that they continue to try to innovate and create different stuff that we've never seen before, so that's definitely what we've got going on here, that is for sure. As you can see, this is the entire first series. We've got a Velociraptor Blue, a Triceratops, and a Tyrannosaurus Rex, because of course you would have a T-Rex. And I would say the bottom two are definitely Jurassic Park. The upper one there would be Jurassic World, so it is nice to see, something taken from each of the different trilogies. And you can see the box art. If we actually just take one down here, we'll take a look at Velociraptor Blue. The box art looks really cool. I love that they have that kind of like cartoony image there looking at our very overweight Velociraptor Blue. You've got the Bite Club logo up there. On the side, again, another shot there of that sort of animated version there. You can again see Series 1. Over here, the Jurassic World logo, and then on the back, you basically see like a little preview of what we've got going on with the set, what you have contained within, and then you've also got a shot down here of the other figures that are included in this wave, and of course, the same thing would be the case for the other ones. You can see, again, that really cool image there of the T-Rex on the side. Again, a shot back here showing us that we actually have Donald Gennaro in here as well, which is actually a really cool little accessory. And then again, the same for the Triceratops. You can see the image there on the back, the really cool sort of, cartoony style image on the side. So let's go ahead, pop each one of these open, and we'll check them out from there. So here is our Velociraptor Blue, our severely overweight Velociraptor Blue. We've also got what I would assume would be Owen Grady, I guess, kind of looks like him. Then we've got ourselves the T-Rex, very, very chunky T-Rex, as well as Donald Gennaro. And then the Triceratops with its fecal matter. So, quite the accessory for that Triceratops, but honestly, they are really quite neat. If you are into sort of stylized, goofy versions of dinosaurs, especially Jurassic World dinosaurs, I could definitely see you enjoying these, see them being kind of popular with fans, but at the same time, they're definitely not anything incredible, and looking at them, I can say the actual detailing is a lot more muted than I expected for something like this, just because no matter what the dinosaur usually looks like, Mattel always goes all out with the fine detail. That's actually not really the case for these ones. However, one thing I do really quite like is the fact that they do give you accessories, like Gennaro being included is a really nice touch, and even the fecal matter of the Triceratops is a really cool little addition to this set. Regardless, I'm very excited to take a look at any new Mattel line, so let's jump to a closer look and do just that. Now, beginning with the Velociraptor Blue, you can straight away see what I'm talking about when it comes to, obviously, a very large and overweight appearance, but also the fine detail kind of lacking, because as you move through, you can see, they've got the general look and feel of, I guess, Velociraptor Blue, or at least a very fat version of a Velociraptor. But you can see that when it comes to the actual fine detail, it's very muted. You don't see any skin texture at all, really, no scale detail. And if it is there, it's so fine that I really can't even pick up on it through the camera. But if you can move past that fact and just, live with the fact that there really isn't much when it comes to a detailing aspect. Boy, I did not realize that tail articulated, and it was totally in the wrong spot. But, again, they're pretty fun. You've got the basic gist of Velociraptor Blue with the grayish tone. You also have the blue stripe moving down here, and it is outlined with the white. It doesn't run all the way out into the tail, shocker there, but it does run down through the course of the body. We've got a yellow eye with a big black pupil, and it also does sport a little bit of a glossy look, which is nice. You also have a light gray for the lower jaw running down here along the underside of the raptor. We do have painted nails, shockingly, at least on the feet anyway, which you can see are painted with a very nice glossy black. No painted nails for the hands, unfortunately, but on this side we actually do have the blue stripe lead up through the eye there, kind of up in front of it. So again, even on these goofier versions, Mattel does get that correct. You know, they really do pay attention to that aspect. And even though it's not perfectly placed because they just don't have the room to place that perfectly, I would say, it still looks pretty cool. But I just now noticed that it seems like the eye kind of goes all the way down here, but it's kind of cut off right there. Maybe I guess that's meant to sort of insinuate like an eyelid or something. I'm not too sure, but I didn't notice that at first. I just did now. But again, the raptor looks pretty fun. Overall, it's enjoyable, I guess, for what it is. It does have an articulated tail, so it's got a little bit of articulation, but I don't think the legs are going to move. No, the legs and arms kind of look like they should articulate, at least swivel, but they actually don't, so there's no articulation there. You can see that lighter tone ends before we actually reach the tail. We've also got, who again I assume would be Owen Grady. I almost at one point thought maybe it was just that guy that's kind of like working at the raptor cages in Jurassic World, because it doesn't really look like Owen Grady, but I'm not 100% sure exactly who it is. I would assume it's Owen just because it's kind of, you know, he's feeding the raptors and he's got like a slab of meat, even though that's not exactly what he feeds them in Jurassic World. But you can see that the actual sculpt and detail of the human being here does look okay. It's actually got like wrinkles in the outfit and everything. There's no paintwork on the face though, interestingly. That's like there's no eyes or anything really painted there. You can see the hair is painted out. And we also have, again, a nice little earthy area here where the guy is standing. We've also got a bucket there where I would assume he pulled this massive slab of meat out of, even though it doesn't look like it would fit. But again, it's just kind of the goofy style of these figures. It's just the way they look, it seems, and they always have this kind of goofy little addition, and obviously I can't expect it to look exactly like Owen Grady if that's who they were trying to replicate, because obviously Velociraptor Blue doesn't look like Velociraptor Blue, so it is a pretty fun little accessory regardless. We've also got the T-Rex, and this one is definitely my favorite of the group because look at the ridiculous face on this T-Rex. Obviously, Rexy has her mouth wide open here. You can see the tongue and everything on the inside of the mouth. The teeth are all sculpted out. Everything is painted very nice and carefully. I can definitely say that. You've got kind of like that pinkish tone there for the inside of the mouth. All of the teeth are painted to perfection. Zero sloppiness as far as that goes, although they're probably just actually, yeah, they're definitely just a piece that's kind of applied in there, so I guess you can't really expect sloppiness there. But as you move back here, you can see the eye is also painted nicely, also given a yellow and a black pupil. You can see that there is some darker brown there kind of around the eye and sort of speckling back here behind the eye. And again, just like with Velociraptor Blue, the actual fine detail is a little bit muted. You know, you don't really see any scale detail or skin texture or anything like that. There's a pretty big seam that runs through, honestly, all of these, it looks like, because I did see it on Velociraptor Blue. Again, it's a little more obvious, I think, on the T-Rex. You do have a little more variation of brown here, kind of like some stripes down here on the back as well. You have sort of like some osteoderms running down right there. Again, we've got the tiny little T-Rex arms, and we do have painted nails for the feet. The feet and legs are very squished down here, obviously, with our massively overweight Tyrannosaurus. The tail, again, articulates just like it did on Velociraptor Blue. You also have this lighter tone for the lower jaw, and that lighter tone runs down here along the underside. Also cuts off at pretty much the exact same spot that it did for the Velociraptor Blue. But overall, again, for what it is a pretty fun figure. They're kind of smaller than I expected them to be, and I'm not too sure why. I just thought they would be a little bit bigger because they're actually $10 a piece, which isn't a bad price for this, but I just kind of expected a little bit more size at the $10 mark. But it's also, again, a pretty fun figure, and I guess replicates Rexy if she happened to just completely give up on life and gain a massive amount of weight and also deform herself severely. But again, it's just a goofy figure. It's really not meant to be a good representation of the Jurassic Park T-Rex. And I think Mattel, yet again, hammered out a very nice, very goofy look for this T-Rex. And we also have, again, Donald Gennaro here on the toilet. He has run off into that little bathroom, and he's now hiding and clearly about to meet his demise with the T-Rex. You can see, just like with our Owen figure, there is no paintwork on the face, no painted eyes or anything, which actually gives him a very creepy look. But you can see his outfit is pretty nicely done. He definitely replicates what Gennaro was wearing as far as what I can recall. Again, we've got the toilet sculpted out and a nice little earthy area down here. You can even see a part of like one of those palm leaves right there on the underside that he's kind of standing on. So obviously this is after the T-Rex has broken down the bathroom, and now Gennaro is about to meet his demise. But he as well is, again, a pretty fun figure. And then our only quadrupedal figure here, we have the Triceratops. And the Triceratops definitely, in my opinion, resembles a Jurassic Park version of a Triceratops. And there's one thing that really leads me to believe that, and that would be the osteoderms back here on the body, because that is something that you, as far as I can recall, don't really see on the Jurassic World versions. It's only on the JP versions that we really saw that, so they have applied that here to the figure. They've also painted all of them out with kind of a glossy brown, like a very dark brown. I don't know why they give it the gloss coat, but you know, whatever, it definitely helps them to stand out. And then as you lead up here into the face, you can see the eye yet again is painted with a yellow, given a black pupil. The horns as well as the beak are all painted out, and they're actually painted out pretty nicely, aside from this one little spot right here. Doesn't really look like there's any sloppiness in that area. You can even see a little bit of skin texture right there up above the eye, a little bit of like scale detail. You see more of that as you lead up into the frill of the Triceratops. You can also see that there's some variations of brown that have kind of been like applied there, kind of in a very nice pattern, almost like spotting through here on the back of the frill. And you can also see the spikes around the frill are also nicely painted, which is really cool, again, the entire way around. And yes, we do even have painted nails on both the front and rear legs. So the Triceratops definitely gets the prize as far as the most paint work when it comes to these figures. I can definitely say that for sure. You can see a bit of a grumpy look on the face of the Triceratops, and I think that's because it has just finished going to the bathroom. And you can also see, again, a nice chunky look as you move through. You've got some skin wrinkles and stuff down here. Yet again, we do have an articulated tail, but it only really swivels. That's about it. And another thing that I actually like, first of all, we can see that there's a little bit of detailing on the underside of the feet. But another thing that I really like is the fact that the Triceratops looks to be kind of kicking like some dirt or something, sort of looking like it's maybe trying to bury its fecal matter, because we have the fecal matter here, and you can see how there's kind of like the dirt or mud or something kind of flying back onto it, and then you have the actual, remnants of the Triceratops' previous meal here, and that as well is painted pretty nicely. They definitely did a pretty good job as far as replicating the fecal matter of the Triceratops. And one thing that I also like on top of that is the fact that when you actually look at the Triceratops, you can see that he's actually looking back. He has the pupil facing back there, like he's trying to obviously see what he or she is doing. I guess it would be a she. But regardless, again, even though they're definitely not the most amazing thing that Mattel has ever produced, they are pretty fun. And another thing I think that is actually pretty fun about these, when you do take a look at them, you actually put their accessories in the right spots. They really do create kind of a very small mini diorama. As you can see, Velociraptor Blue is looking exactly at Owen right there, waiting to get its food. The T-Rex looks like it's absolutely about to chow down on Gennaro, and obviously the Triceratops is looking back at what it's currently doing. So I do really like the fact that they have not just given us like a chubby version of a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park dinosaur, they've also kind of given us a little bit of a diorama with each one. But as far as the size goes, I don't think we really need to measure them all, because they're all roughly the same size. The tallest one, though, would be the Triceratops with the frill, so we'll just measure the Triceratops. Lengthwise, you're looking at a little over 4 inches. Yeah, it's actually maybe right around 4 inches, maybe a hair over, or about 10 centimeters. And then for a height, about a little over 3¼ inches, or around 8½ centimeters. And for a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, Robert Muldoon, and the Collect Day Human Being here next to our Bite Club figures. And you can see that they are pretty small, but at the same time, they're a little bit larger than your average goofy Jurassic World figures from Mattel. So that is a plus. You know, they're definitely larger than like the pop-ups and Snap Squads and stuff like that, but obviously not by any means are they large. We've also got a Mattel Velociraptor and Dilophosaurus stepping in here to kind of give us another idea of a size of the Bite Club figures. And honestly, I personally don't feel like we need too many comparisons. I think the ones we've done already should give you a pretty good idea, I think, of the size. But one more comparison, we have a Snap Squad Baryonyx in here, just to kind of show you that they are a bit larger than your average Snap Squad. And if we take like the T-Rex here, and we put it like face to face with the baryonyx, you can definitely see, again, a pretty decent size difference between these two, but like I said, the Bite Club figures are by no means a massive figure. So these brand new Mattel Jurassic World Bite Club figures are pretty fun. Again, they're definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I don't think that they're going to be the biggest hit from Mattel or even a remotely large hit, but I think that they are worth collecting, and they are pretty fun because there's something totally brand new, something we have not seen before. It's not like where they upgraded the Snap Squads to the pop-ups and they just weren't that great. There's nothing that these have been upgraded from. They're just goofy figures that they've made, not even so much figures because you don't really have like any kind of, aside from the tails anyway, articulation or any way to alter their pose. They're just kind of really goofy looking little models that they've made, and I think each one is pretty fun. And the thing that I think really, sells them for me is the fact that they include those accessories that helps to create a diorama with each one. That is the thing that really draws me into these, and at first when I had seen them, I was thinking, well, they're okay. I would probably buy them if they were cheap, but I don't know for sure if I would buy all of them if they continue to release them. But even though, again, the actual fine detail is pretty much non-existent and they're just really exaggerated versions of these dinosaurs, I think I would probably buy more if they do release more of these, and I'm actually quite intrigued to see what other ones they'll come up with and what other scenes they'll try to recreate, because even though, again, they're not the greatest thing, they are pretty fun. And then, they've got some decent paint apps for what they are. We actually have painted nails, which is a plus. And the fact that, again, we've got like Gennaro included, Owen Grady included, and some dinosaur poop. It is very, very cool overall to, again, have something like this. It's almost like the Funko Pop figures when they release the really neat dioramas and stuff that they release. It's similar to that, I think, but obviously a good bit smaller. So each and every one of these are pretty fun. They're definitely not award-winning, but they are, in my opinion anyway, worth picking up. So I will include a link in the description to where each and every one of you can buy all three of these, because they are available currently on Amazon.com, because that is where I purchased mine. So make sure you check those links. Go grab these if you'd like to add them to your collection, and also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.